So there were a couple documents that were posted today on the Idaho 4th District website regarding the Brian Kohberger Idaho 4 murders trial that's going to happen this summer. The first one that I'm reading right now is basically admitting that Hunter Johnson, the one that you can see in all of the noise complaint videos, was present for the 911 call. He was the one that discovered unresponsive Xana and told Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk to call 911. There was another person with the initials EA that was also present in this document. I don't know who that is. If you guys know, make sure you comment below because I'd love to, if you guys can tell me. But that's who they said was present for the 911 call 2.5 years ago. And then there was another document regarding what the two roommates were texting. Remember, we knew about that. I posted a video about it. It went viral and people thought I was nuts, but it did happen. Eventually was talked about in the media as well that these two were texting while the other roommates were being essentially killed. Now, the argument that's being given in this document is saying that DM's phone records for November 13, 2022, and Bethany Funk's testimony as to what DM told her should be allowed at trial. So now they're talking about a text message that Dylan sent to EG, which I'm assuming it's the Uber driver is what they're saying, to inquire if he was driving. The state submits that this text message exchange is not hearsay because it will not be offered for the truth of the matter asserted for his driving status. Instead, it will be offered to show a timeline for the night that DM or Dylan Mortensen was awake and texting at 2:10 in the morning. They say that from 4:19 in the morning to 4:21, Dylan attempts to call Bethany Funk, Xander Conoto, Kaylee Gonzalez, and Madison Mogan, all calls unanswered. The records of these calls are not hearsay as they each do not meet the definition of the statement, oral assertion, written assertion, and nonverbal conduct intended, blah, blah, blah. So, from Dylan to Bethany Funk, she sent the following text messages. No one is answering. I'm really confused right now, to Bethany Funk. Then she sends to Kaylee, what's going on? And then Bethany says to Dylan, yeah, dude, what the fuck? Xana was wearing all black. Then Dylan back to Bethany. I'm freaking out right now. No, it's like ski mask almost. Bethany Funk to Dylan. STFU. Obviously, you know what that means. Actually. Then Dylan says to Bethany, like he had, and she's spelling this totally wrong, something over is forehead and little in mouth. That's what she said, and it's not spelling it correctly, so obviously she's under the influence of potentially of something. Or shooken up, I don't know. Dylan also says, Bethany, I'm not kidding, I am so freaked out. Bethany to DM, so am I. Dylan to Bethany Funk, my phone is going to die, F, like the F word. Bethany to Dylan, come to my room. Bethany, run. Down here. All of the above declarations are present sense impressions and excited utterances. This is supported by Dylan Mortensen's grand jury testimony where she indicates she just witnessed a startling event, heard noises in the residence, and saw an unknown male in the residence. Declarations indicate both Bethany Funk and Dylan Mortensen are trying to make sense of the startling event immediately following it. No time for reflection or fabrication. We don't know that. They're surmising that. Grand jury testimony, blah, blah, blah. At 4:24, Dylan calls Ethan Chapin, call unanswered. This phone record, like the other phone calls, is not a statement pursuant. Bethany Funk and Dylan Mortensen continue to text. At 4:24, Dylan texts Bethany, I'm screwed though. But she spelled it SC, capital R, and the lowercase WD. Bethany responds at 4:25, yeah, I know, but it's better than being alone. I think she meant to say I'm scared though, but the way it's spelled is weird. Again, both statements are admissible as the present tense, blah, blah, blah. And then at 4:27, Dylan calls Kaylee unanswered, and 4:28 calls Conoto unanswered. These are not statements pursuant. 4:32 sends a text message to Gonzalez stating, please answer. The statement is a present tense impression. Shows DM's perception of the events. Next morning, Dylan Mortensen says the following text message starting at 10:23. Please answer, are you up? She sends it to Kaylee, please answer. Then she sends one to Mogan, are you up? And then again to Kaylee, are you up? With two question marks. Text messages are not hearsay. It says 11:39. Diem has a text exchange with her father. She says at 11:50 she calls EA, whoever that other person was at the 911 call. This record is not in the statement. It receives a text message at 11:51 with the letter J and a vandal alert at 1:04. And these statements anticipate that both Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk will testify at trial. The state submits that the statements from both Diem and Bethany Funk, or Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk, to each other are allowable hearsay because they are present sense impressions and excited utterances. Let's see if there's any more text messages. Based on the above authority, the state respectfully requests the court's approval in limine of admission of text messages from Dylan Mortensen on November 13th, 2022, and the testimony of Bethany Funk regarding what Dylan Mortensen told her on November 13th, 2022. So that's what we have, is kind of like an unredacted little bit of insight of what they were saying. The state asserting that they could not fabricate things, that they were happening in real time. Be cautioned with that, because people can lie on the spot. Okay, we have not heard of that. So, that being said, I could not sleep in that house knowing if I just am texting people saying something's going on or I saw something. Why would you go to bed? That doesn't make any sense. Call 911. There was another document for defendant's motion to preclude the death penalty and adopt other necessary procedures due to the state's numerous disclosure violations. So let's go down a little bit because I saw them explaining it a little bit more. Mr. Kohlberger has consistently demanded that the prosecution comply with its obligations under state and federal constitutions to provide exculpatory and impeaching information to the defense, as well as any information that would tend to mitigate the punishment. The defense has filed more than 20 supplemental requests for discoveries specifying evidence the state has failed to turn over. The state has turned over more than 68 terabytes of data. That much data is the equivalent of 68,000 copies of the Encyclopedia Britannica. So they're basically saying, how would we be able to get to that? Thus, 68 terabytes of text files will average more than 46 billion text pages and nearly 7 billion pages of email files. The discovery has been provided includes more than 13,000 photographs, more than 15,000 video clips from businesses, and more than 8,000 video clips from residences. It also includes more than 60 plus digital devices and digital data and search warrant data, including cell phones and laptops for Mr. Kohlberger, the victims, alternative suspects, and various other individuals who knew the victims. While the state has had access to many dozens or even hundreds of detectives and investigators from multiple law enforcement agencies, I was going to say that just right now, like they've had the FBI, they've had the state police, they've had help. These guys don't have that. Including the FBI, in addition to the use of expensive AI and technological programs to facilitate production and review of massive amount of discovery, the defense team consists of 3 attorneys, a mitigation specialist, and 3 investigators. There is no way, even through the greatest of due diligence, the defense can independently review all of this discovery. In providing discovery, the state has not provided in a searchable format, has not provided detailed logs and indexes that would facilitate the defense's review of the evidence, and has not provided an index of the Brady evidence or evidence that may be relevant to the defense. Additionally, the court set an expert disclosure deadline that passed more than 1 month ago. While the defense complied, the state provided vague disclosures that failed to identify opinions and experts that would provide or detail the facts and evidence that would rely on for those opinions. So there you have it. There's like multiple documents that were just posted, and that's kind of like a real quick summary. I hope you guys like that. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel here and on YouTube. I am working on going through what we already know, but I wanted to bring that to you because that is some explosive new information and a little bit more insight into what happened 2.5 years ago. So thank you for watching.